So hello everyone on the second channel, a late one tonight because I was on Mike from PA's stream earlier, so I didn't really want to stream. Earlier, but I'm committed to doing this more. So let me just unprivate the stream and when I get going with the live stuff. Thanks for the support on the second channel, by the way. It's pretty crazy. My David Pacman videos on like 1,000 views. And that's not any views from the stream, obviously. That's just literally just 1,000 organic views from the channel, which is pretty cool. So who knows? Who knows what will happen? I'm going to post me and my girlfriend's podcast on that as well when we start doing it again. I think we're going to do live podcasts on the actual YouTube now. I'm just going to get my comments up. Oh nice, we hit 33k today as well, which is pretty sick. The live chat up. I'll just wait for people to join. So if you're on the second channel, please skip a couple minutes. I normally, if you like watching me interact with the chat, that's normally straight away, but if you want me to actually get to the issue, maybe skip a bit. I'm just going to stick this in my Discord server, and join the Discord if you haven't. And yeah, thanks for the support on some videos recently. Some of the videos haven't done as well as I'd hoped. Last week was a good week actually, overall. Not a great start to this week. I actually like my thumbnail a lot. Apparently it wasn't very good, but I liked the one I designed yesterday. Let me stick this on Twitter as well. Streaming now. Oh, sorry, don't want you to hear that. Okay. So I'm all sorted now, ready to go. Let's have a look at the live stream chat. Where is my live stream chat? Good seeing you on the central committee. Yeah, it was a fun time. Sorry, I'm close to the mic. It was fun. Yeah, I enjoy talking about British politics because I don't really get the chance to do that much on this channel. I mean, I'm sure you guys wouldn't mind if I did, but I don't do it. Mainly just because it doesn't really work well on YouTube. It's not that popular. And I think I found my niche of like weird stuff now. So I think I'm just going to stick with this stuff. So the chat says, Ethan, hello. Hi, Ethan. Thanks for joining. Jaden, Joe Rogan is still an arsehole. He seems to have gotten worse since he's gone off YouTube. Main saying Joe Rogan's a dumbass. Yep. Retract saying bald white guy has terrible take. What else is new? Is there any bald white guys with good takes? The only people I can think of right now is Jeff Bezos and and him. I mean, John Travolta doesn't seem like the worst guy, to be honest. Hi, Katie. Thanks so much for joining. I appreciate you always being here. But yeah, I'm gonna upload that because okay, can people tell me? I'm gonna ask this again later because only 25 of you here. What's people's problem with Mike from PA? Because I said last night on my video I was going on his stream, and I went on a stream today, and loads of people were just like, "Oh, he's such." I didn't know who this guy was until he invited me on his stream, and it's like, "Oh, this guy is such trash. Don't go on his stream and stuff like that." So like, I went on his stream and we had a fine chat. Like, didn't have a problem with him at all. He knows his British politics pretty well, which is always refreshing when talking to an American person. But is there anything actually wrong with him? Someone's saying Matt is saying he's cringe. But what's actually wrong with him? I don't understand. Like, everyone's just posting like they hate him, and I'm like, can I please have some examples of why he's bad? I might post the debate on the main channel at the weekend, or my second channel. I'm not sure yet. Um, Mike's a shit lib. Okay, but is a why? Okay, why is he a grifter then? He starts pointless drama. Senor saying he comes across as super nerdy. Um, Grand Watt saying not Rogan threatened me with a good time. Red Leader saying he's not wrong. We will do that. So he went after Bo of the Fifth for clout. So he just goes after people, I guess. Because yeah, I don't know what people's problem with him is. So more people have joined. Okay, people in the chat. I went on Mike from PA stream today, just talk about British politics. Loads of people telling me not to go on. What is so problematic about him that I shouldn't have gone on? Watching from Central Oregon. Hey, it's so weird when people tell me where they're watching from. Like that time when everyone was like, 2 people from Sudan. And I was like, oh my god, that's so weird. Hey Kennedy, thanks for joining. Please somebody actually cancel Joe Rogan so that he'll shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's just so hilarious. Like someone whose job for the last like how many years? 8 years is just to talk non-stop on an absolutely massive podcast is also like the main host on like massive UFC events watched by like tens of millions, and he thinks the wokes will silence straight away. This is the thing I never ever get right. I never get, as a straight white man myself, I literally just do not understand this shit. Like about being scared and being silenced. Like, what reality do these people like live in where they actually think this? And like, I'm not a guy with like an absolutely huge platform either. This is a guy who has like millions and millions of fans, and like I said, has an absolutely huge podcast, like the one of the biggest in the world. He's literally the most famous podcast host, and he's the guy saying this. Kennedy saying, I don't know if Mike is problematic, but I know him. I don't know, but I know him personally. He used to work with some friends of mine. He's a dick. All right, so the main thing is people just think he's personally not that nice. Not the worst thing. I'm here from the Rogan take, here from Paris, Maine. Oh, awesome. So I will get to that. Mike from PA. Okay. Mike threatened to go after any charity that Vouch wanted to assist seems petty. Why go after them in what way? He got mad about cancel culture after his buds all got caught for sexual misconduct. So where is this stuff where I can read more of this stuff? Reddy is saying getting the old live stream team back together. Yeah, Red Leader and Kennedy are some of like people who used to come on my streams and I had like 6k. Sadly, no, I'm messing Kennedy, but sadly, Red Leader's been the only loyal one. I think Kennedy abandoned us for like bigger and better creators. Hi, Amity, thanks for joining. Jack saying, I think they're just afraid to be held accountable for the things they say in their mind. People respecting them less for saying stupid shit is being cancelled. Yeah, exactly. Some other people saying stuff. Joe Rogan is one of those people that loves to brag about Western civilization, but the next breath says it's the white guy that's the true victim. Alright, there's people just don't like him, which is fair enough. But we had a fine conversation about British politics. And like I said, he did know his British politics, which the only other person I've spoke to who really knows their British politics is like Mike from the Humanist Report, an American. Like I didn't have to explain anything to him really. He already knew it, which is like refreshing and stuff. Okay, Ethan said it's fine you went on, but he's a bit of a shitter. Some more comments. White men are getting cancelled, pay millions by Spotify to talk shit. Yeah, exactly. Here from Chi-Town. Everyone in the chat, if you think you're from the most faraway country or place, please put it in the chat and see who wins. So watching from Manchester, yes, someone up late like me. Did I see you in a United shirt in one of your videos? Yeah, Amity, I have that lovely zebra United shirt. I'm happy we finished second today. I was because we've been playing so crap lately. I was dreading Leicester maybe leapfrogging us, but or Chelsea if we lost. But thankfully we grinded out the draw against Fulham. I am the Molotov to your Stalin. We can pick a better example, Red Leader. You can be my Jap to the Ho Chi Minh, but that also means you'll probably like turn the Communist Party against me to remove me from positions of power. So, all right, just finishing my coffee. We'll get into it. Joe Rogan has steadily become worse since he moved to Texas. Yeah, he's gone like really crazy. Yeah, Mike's really nice. We were actually chatting on Twitter DMs the other day because he hosted the Young Turks. And like because I watched the Young Turks when I was like 15, it's like a really quite surreal moment to see someone like Mike on there. Just because I started following Mike in 2017 when I started my YouTube channel and stuff. So yeah, it was really cool. I was just telling him he did a good job, and we're just talking about some YouTube stuff as well. I'm in Indiana. I'm in New York. USA is the most toxic place, dude. Yeah, I haven't actually been there. California, Canada, Newcastle. Yeah, it's always weird. I have British people who watch my stuff. Are you all students? Like, is that why you're staying up so late? Mike and Cav look similar. Is it possible? I don't think we look that similar. We are white guys with beards though. Joe Rogan looks like a crack at. Yeah, it's after he's come out of the sauna. I thought it was funny. So, when have white people ever been silenced? Yeah. Joe Rogan is textbook meathead centrist. Yeah, exactly. All right, we're gonna get into the story in a sec. Just reading some more comments. No, I didn't speak to Joe. I spoke to Mike. Imagine me on Joe Rogan. Kennedy from Ohio. Still not very far away. The Bronx, that's cool. Los Angeles. As a Chelsea fan, I respect the second place dub. Yeah, thanks, Retrack, for getting us there. Joe's existence has convinced me to never try the DMT snake oil. Yeah, this shit he always goes on about. What is the other thing? Is it like bald testosterone he takes or something? We should have beat Fulham. It's bloody Fulham. Yeah, my Liverpool friend was memeing me about it, and I just sent him Liverpool's results against Fulham this season. They've drawn once and lost once, so I was like, chill. So, Infamous Marxist, I actually do want Ollie to stay. Like, I am really like a big fan. It just feels good to like watching the games again. So Matt saying, as an amateur MMA fighter, his MMA analysis and commentary has also gotten a lot worse. I think his brain is just rotting from all the shit he puts into his body. So all right, I'm gonna start the story thing. Cancelling will do nothing, as Kavanagh said in his videos. Yeah, I'll get back to cancel culture, which is just like, so the way like people use it is just so ridiculous. Like the only like massive example of cancel culture like for mainstream celebs is like Jesse Ventura having a contract. I forgot what news network it was, but then he spoke out against the Iraq War, and then they took him off air, but he had something in his contract where he couldn't like appear on another news network, so he essentially couldn't say anything live for 2 years. So that's like proper, like not cancel, but like you're suppressing his freedom of speech. I guess that's what they think cancel culture means, for him having an opinion against the Iraq War and stuff. Red Leaders from Pittsburgh. Come on, who's someone has to be really far away. If you're really far away, stick it in the chat. It's just England, Canada, and America, which is probably not surprising, but all right. I'll get back to whoever wins, but let's go into the stupid story. Singapore, K9's winning, and Australia, Trash Boat is also winning. Is it my Alexa listening to me? My Alexa thought it was Alexa. IGN got cancelled from the IDF. Oh, Argentina, there's another one. I'm gonna make one more Israel video tomorrow, mainly about like the different celebs' reaction. Also, the people anyone who likes Mr. Robot, just know that Charlie Chaikin, who plays Darlene in the show, is like some big Zionist who was using her Instagram to make excuses for the IDF, like flattening Gaza. So all right, Argentina as well, awesome. It's like so weird to think about the international audience and stuff. All right, let's get into this shit. Let me just see if it's all right on the OBS. All right, so Joe Rogan criticized and mocked after saying straight white men are silenced by woke culture. And isn't that just like a perfect photo? It just sums him up. The guy who always has the microphone is the guy being silenced, of course. Joe Rogan, one of the most popular podcast hosts in the world, drew mockery and criticism after he claimed in his show that straight white men were being silenced because of woke culture. In an episode of his podcast last week, the host spoke to stand-up comedian Joe List about the evolving boundaries of what makes acceptable comedy. Can you make a good comedy movie anymore? Or have they made it so dangerous in terms of being cancelled that comedy movies are no longer something you can do? You can never be woke enough, that's the problem, he said in the podcast. It keeps going further and further and further down the line, and if you get to the point where you capitulate, where you agree to all these demands, it will eventually get to straight white men not being allowed to talk. He continued to rant that they would eventually no longer be able to go outside. Liz began to laugh. Rogan continued, I'm not joking, it really will get there. It is crazy. We just got to be nice to each other, man. And there's a lot of people who are taking advantage of this weirdness in our culture. And then that becomes their thing. Their thing is calling people out for their privilege, calling people out in their position. So before we get into like the backlash stuff, what makes me laugh about this, right, is like, if you have a shitty opinion, and these guys like say they believe in freedom of speech, if you have a shitty opinion and a shitty take, people are allowed to call you out on it. If it's like really bizarre and weird, yeah, more people are going to call you out on it. I don't understand where they think, like, you know, calling people out for their position. Yes, if you support something crap, but also, you know, I say that myself, I generally support, you know, quite progressive things. I always get called out by conservative people, and I'm not like, oh, I'm being cancelled for like being pro-Palestinian or something, because there's loads of Israelis in my comments saying, you know, I support Hamas and shit like that. People are calling me out, yeah, but if you believe in like freedom of speech and a free society, that's what people do. So if you're just some old weird dude who can't accept like certain progressive things happening, or not even that, I assume most of Joe Rogan's audience aren't like the woke people, right? So you're being called out by people who don't even listen to you. So why does that even matter? You just have like this ego where you can't actually handle the criticism, not that you're actually being silenced. You just don't like people pointing out your shittiness. It's really like not anything more than that, because how is he being silenced? How is straight white? Oh, it's just so ridiculous. But the thing is, right, why I want to talk about this is people say in the comments like, who cares what Joe Rogan says? This is just like a pretty prominent guy saying it, but loads and loads of, especially Americans, think this shit is true. Like, straight white men are being oppressed and set aside, and like, and the problem is, often he's not talking about it here. He's more talking about like, you know, censorship in what you say. But a lot of them is like, yeah, because the government or businesses or workforces are more like multicultural now, straight white men are being put aside. And it's like, no, it's like they're trying to readdress the balance and make society, or like jobs and politics more representative of the makeup of those countries, right? But it's still like overwhelmingly controlled, the power structures, by straight white men. So it's actually pretty like ridiculous to even think this. So even the thing is, even if straight white men became the minority, it would still be really hard to get the amount of power of different places, especially places like the UK, where it's like the historic, group of people who are powerful. So like, yeah, a ridiculous take anyway. Just go down a bit more. So backlash was swift. Let me just see if you guys can still see this right. Backlash was swift, as some noted that Spotify, which signed a deal worth about 100 million with Rogan last year, did not have any control over the content of his show. One Twitter user, Emma Kelly, wrote, Joe Rogan made his comments about straight white men not being able to talk due to woke culture on his podcast, which was acquired by Spotify in a 100 million deal that has 11 million listeners per episode and lets him talk about literally anything. This is another funny one. Another person tweeted a photo with the repeated phrase, Joe Rogan is group for men, which, yeah, the type of people who absolutely, love Joe Rogan, it does feel like that. Yeah, so there's one tweet I want to find which makes me crack up because I think it's like the perfect example of what Joe Rogan is, and it just I need to find it because it is, when I first saw it, I was just laughing so hard. Wait, brother who smokes. Because I don't want to retell it and it not be funny because I'm telling it. Come on, I need to find this. It was something like damn. Okay, I'm gonna type it on Google. And then we're gonna Joe Rogan, 27-year-old brother meme. Okay, here it is. This made me fucking crack up. Let me see if you guys can see it. Alright, back when I was a kid, you didn't need Joe Rogan. Your best friend had a 27-year-old brother who was a fucking loser who would smoke pot in a room with black light posters and tell you that the Mayans invented cell phones. And this is just like a legend. I saw this come up a bit, lately, but I was cracking up so much when I read it because it's so true. It's just like, maybe that's the appeal, but just some dumb guy with stupid opinions about, everything. But like, that's what he basically, is at the end of the day. It's not someone you should necessarily take that seriously, but he does have an absolutely huge following. This is why it's just, the whole thing about his freedom of speech being threatened. And also, sorry, I got my, whatever the fuck is happening on that guy's Twitter. Some guy fighting. But also I want to talk about I'll talk about cancel culture in a minute, but like the comedy thing is also interesting. Like he thinks the people saying the stream is buggy. He says I have excellent connection. One sec. This is okay. Let me know in the chat if it is bad. About the comedy thing, like I'm trying to think what's the funniest thing I've watched lately. Like obviously I enjoy. Okay, there is. I'll admit the one thing I concede, there is comedy that I used to like growing up, that you probably wouldn't get away with now. If the people from the UK who are in the chat, In-Betweeners is absolutely like hilarious, right? And like I saw the movie in the cinema when I was I think I was 15, and I've never seen a cinema in the UK because obviously in the UK we're not like Americans, we're not cheering or like all this stuff in the cinema, but everyone in the cinema could just not stop laughing at that movie. But as funny as I still find it, and I have like a great attachment to it because it's like my childhood, it's like I don't think you can make that now. I just don't think a lot of the jokes would be appropriate and stuff. Sometimes that's the funny part of comedy because these guys are meant to be losers, but the way they speak, like if you're a bit older, if you're maybe like in your teens, and you haven't watched the In-Betweeners, Go back and watch it because every teenager in the UK used to speak like they do in that show. Like, I'm not joking. Like, and maybe if you're like, I don't know how old a lot of you are, but if you're like 16 or 17, it might be a bit of a culture shot in the sense that like, nah, like we did say all this awful crap when we were growing up, and it was just like accepted. Like we would I like you guys if you're a bit older like me, it's crazy when you think about it, but gay was the big one. Like using gay as an insult. Like, oh, you're so gay, that's so gay. Like that used to be so common. And I remember like this is how common it used to be. Like my sister told me, you really wouldn't you because she's like 7 years younger than me. She said no one says that in public in school because you can get in a lot of trouble. But I remember specifically, we would say it in class. We would say it on school trips in front of the teachers all the time. Like non. And I remember one teacher was like, as a joke, like, "Do you guys not know any other words apart from that?" But she didn't tell us off or anything. So it's so different now. And the In-Betweeners has a lot of jokes about like that sort of language and stuff. So to that point, I'm like, yeah, there are some things from back in the day that really wouldn't work now, but also the the comedy doesn't need that to be funny. And again, I'm trying to think what's the most funny thing. Like I don't know how many of you guys have seen Burn After Reading. I haven't laughed so much watching the movie in a long time. I'm not gonna spoil it, but the scene then Brad Pitt is hiding in the closet, George Clooney's closet, and what happens afterwards. I laughed so much, and that's obviously black humor. I'm trying to think of other things I like, because I don't really watch comedies. I think The Simpsons, like I've been watching early Simpsons, which is really funny. And obviously there are some problematic episodes since most of it, the best ones are made in the 90s. But generally it's pretty good, like political jokes or general social jokes. And early Simpsons is really funny. And also Futurama as well. I was watching lately some old Futurama. And I was like, no, this is like genuinely funny, and it's not like offensive and problematic. It's actually quite clever. Like the visual gags, or like my favorite one. It's not even like that funny, but like the Four Crusties one. I'm seeing double here. Four Crusties. It's just like really stupid, but it's also like really clever as well, just for like that sort of joke. But also, it also goes to the point. Joe Rogan isn't fucking funny, and sometimes comedians think being shocking and getting like a reaction out of the crowd is the same as being actually like genuinely funny, and it's like really not. So people like this maybe like rely on that stuff. Like you know you've got to be offensive to be funny for these guys. And yeah, I just don't think you do. Although like I agree to some extent, there is some comedy from back in the day that the thing is I probably still laugh at In-Betweeners a lot, just because it's so over the top and offensive. But I don't think the original point of it was that this was necessarily bad. Like there's that scene in like Hot Fuzz, and my friends used to say it to each other. It's like what's his name? Who's the ginger one? Nick Frost is the other one. Who's the ginger one? Oh, yeah, Simon Pegg is like telling Nick Frost off, and he's like, "Oh, all right, gay." And then they sort of went back and made a sketch about it in like 2020, and he's like, yeah, the original point of this was not to make this seem okay, it was to criticize like how uncomfortable men are with like close relationships, and how like they need to say like ridiculous slur stuff to like make them feel comfortable or something. But like even that, like, I mean, my friends used to say it, but I guess you just wouldn't really get away with that stuff today. But type in the chat what you're like. The thing is, right, let's think about like the US office, for example, and like what makes that funny. And what makes that funny a lot of the time is Michael being like an idiot, but like it's about the tense and really extremely awkward situations. Like that Scott's Tots one in The Office. I can't even fucking watch that. Like I have never watched that because I had to flick through it because it was so awkward and cringe. And like the dinner party one, like just like you're just like, oh, it's so horrible, but it's so funny as well. So you don't need to be like really offensive to be funny. And when a character like Michael Scott is offensive, it's meant to be part of his character. It's like Ricky Gervais's one in David Brent in the original Office. So yeah, if you're a comedian who's complaining about woke culture ruining comedy, I just don't think you were very funny in the first place. Katie saying I had to catch up on the last fear because I had a bad edible experience plus food poisoning. Oh, that sounds shit. Is it related to each other? What edible did you eat? Obviously, like I've never done drugs because I'm just like sick. I'm like the anti Joe Rogan where I just won't put anything in my body. um, yeah, Kennedy. Sorry, I just saw that now. We're doing a Mr. Robot watch party on Twitch. If you're ever free and want to join, just let me know. What season are you on? Um, so I'm reading the comments now. I hate communism. Okay. I don't know why you're on my channel then. So Joe Rogan is becoming more and more Republican. He's blatantly transphobic and tries to make it seem like these idiot Republicans have credibility. Yeah, he is like ridiculous. Now he's gone to Texas and stuff. Like the people he has on all the time. It was always like pretty right leaning, but it's like so right leaning now. Yeah, pro cancel culture, but it's not cancel culture. You're not canceling people. People think like if I criticize Joe Rogan for a shitty opinion, I'm trying to deplatform him and stuff, or like I want to, take away his livelihood or something. No, it's just I respond. You have an opinion, you put it in the public, people respond to it. That has happened for like decades. It's nothing new. Jack saying people like Joe complaining about being silent simply want silence any criticism of their words and actions. Yeah, so much for caring about freedom of speech. The only thing to be done about Joe Rogan is to try and get more left-wing people on his show. Yeah, the thing is, like, I made a video about this, like, was it 2 years ago when Bernie Sanders went on his show? And, like, a lot of the comments were, like, I thought this guy was, like, since I'm talking about Joe Rogan, let me just go find the video and where I'm talking about it. But it was basically, like, I thought this guy was crazy, but then I heard what he had to say, and even though I don't agree with everything, he's just, like, really say, and he just cares about people and all this stuff. So I'm going to find it. But yeah, that's a good point in terms of, but now that he's off YouTube, it feels like he only caters to like his knucklehead audience who only want Republicans on. So I'm going to try and find this. This is when I used to cover actual politics all the time. So Joe Rogan and Bernie, where are you? Damn, time is flying fast. This must be like 2 years ago, nearly. Hey, like let's see who's in the comments. Any of you in the comments? I doubt it. If you see yourself in the comments, let me know, because I can't see anyone. Okay, but from the angle, it kind of looks like I might have live streamed myself. So, okay, it weren't this video. It was a video where I talk about his show in general. This one. Look how broken my nose is. So this is when I was playing football and I smashed my head off the post when I was tackling someone, and basically like I broke my nose, even though it's healed quite nicely, I think, lately. Broke my nose and I had to have like 10 stitches in my eyebrow. And I had like so many injections in my forehead. Oh my god, it's worst pain ever. Literally, like being conscious and feeling them sewing you up is so gross. I had to bite down. Like I just asked for like a bit of cotton wool to bite down on, just so I could like take the pain. It was really fucking like the worst thing ever. But here we go. So these are the comments on Joe Rogan's Bernie interview. So got to be honest, came into this thinking this guy was nuts. Left saying to myself, wow, I've been way too close-minded. So that's one good comment. There's plenty of them though. The one thing that blew my mind about this entire interview is that I didn't disagree with anything that he's about. Another one. Joe, you did a great job with the interview. Bernie, you seem like the most sensible candidate I've seen in a long time. I came into this video with a very negative opinion of Bernie, but after sticking through the whole thing, I have to say I do have some positive thoughts about the guy. In this format, he comes across much better than he does on a soundbite stage. I'm used to hearing him on Great Show Joe. So yeah, like this is what like his podcast probably was good. So I am conservative, and I decided to listen to this since I'm a huge fan of Joe Rogan, and I had to ask myself multiple times why I was taught to hate the guy. Although I do not agree with some of his politics, most of the things he has stated seem very logical. This also goes to show you can't just skim headlines to paint a picture of a candidate. Even some of the headlines regarding this podcast having to do with his statements about aliens made him seem crazy, even though it was done in good humor. So, like, yeah, that's someone. Have we got any more? That was the last one. But then, like, the point of this thing was saying how it's good, but at the same time, he platformed so many, like, fucking, like, absolutely awful people. So part of the pilot all right and stuff. But yeah, like, that is just something that his show could have been used for good, but at the same time, he chooses not to use it for good. And not that he really cares about good or bad, he's just making money. And, you know, the thing is, at least sometimes he wants to talk about stuff like politics, but he just becomes such a knucklehead recently. I also want to find my video where I talked about this. I keep getting loads of comments on this fucking one from Indians telling me they love Israel and stuff. I'm like an oracle from ancient Greece, in that, like, loads of the videos I make just become so relevant like months later, like this one. But then the crazy thing is, it's so hilarious, not like what they're saying, but like the Indians on Twitter are saying how much they love the Israelis, and the Israelis are responding and being extremely racist to the Indians, basically telling them not to fuck off. And it's just like the Indians are trying to simp for them, basically, because, you know, the Hindu nationalists hate Muslims. I'll take some comments, and I want to talk about this as well for a bit. But I'm going to take some more comments on the Joe Rogan stuff. And let me get the chat up. Oh, someone's donated. Wait. Oh, Brian, thanks so much, man. Really, really appreciate it. $20. Don't you think this crap... Wait. Don't you think this crap is the international government policy? Critical race theory is in all governments around the West. And if it's government policy, the corporations have to follow to get the subsidies, tax grants. Can you elaborate a bit, Brian? I don't really understand what you're saying. Don't you think this crap is the international... Like, are you saying, like, government policy is critical race theory and we should question it? Or what? I don't understand. If you'd elaborate a bit, I'll talk about it. But thanks so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. All right, so I'm just going to get some more comments. Alright, sorry, I always forget where I leave off. It doesn't have timestamps on the comments, which is really frustrating. Kennedy's saying the biggest tragedy is Michael Brooks didn't go on Joe Rogan, didn't live long enough to go on his show. I mean, it would have been good, but the thing is, you've seen Joe Rogan talk to people like Michael, and it hasn't changed. It changes his mind when he's doing the podcast, but when he comes off the podcast, he's like exactly the fucking same. So it seems to not really matter at the end of the day. So Red Leader saying Rogan is a platform we can use. He's not a comrade, and frankly, that doesn't matter yet. So sorry, just how much did I leave off? Rogan is not a bad person. He's just an idiot surrounded by smart idiots. Well, I mean, like, I guess they take advantage of him, but he does seem to agree with some weird ass people like Ben Shapiro and stuff. Gordon Mack sent you a tweet on Twitter about Rogan. I don't see it. Sent you a tweet on Twitter about you. You haven't sent me anything on Twitter. I can't see anything. Sorry, what was I looking at? OBS? Okay. Is anyone else having issues with the stream? Is the stream still bad? Oh, wait, what happened here? Someone hates Burn After Reading. No. Who hates it? Brian, have you responded? I'm still waiting for your comment. Sorry, I so many comments. I'm just trying to find where I'm at. Okay, here I am. Why am I up at 3 a.m.? I mean, I don't YouTube is my job now, so I do what I want. Sleep is for cowards. I had a nap before I came on. Actually, I was really tired. I was up since 10 because my girlfriend had to come round because she left the computer charger and she had to work from here instead of her house. No, In-Betweeners is mad overrated. It's basically Anchorman for British people. Amity, how old are you? No, In-Betweeners is so good. Like, I laugh like out loud at every episode. It's so, so good. Maybe would be pretty problematic. Jack Lucas saying, In-Betweeners could be made today, would just need to be written slightly better to adjust. Yeah, that is true. Reddy is saying that using gay was massive in the States as well. It was a big thing in the whole English world. Katie's saying all my friends said that's gay and shit, and meanwhile I was considered but okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking this the other day, because I was on Facebook or Instagram, and then someone I went to school with unfollowed me or something, and not gonna lie, that hurt because I was like, I thought we were friends. Like, I haven't seen you in years, but like, I thought we were friends. Like, when we left, like, why have you unfollowed me? What have I done? But then I was thinking, I was like, I went on their profile and saw them posting about like transgender rights and stuff, and I was like, it's so mad how much that stuff's come along because we never got taught about that stuff in school. I never even remembered speaking about that stuff in school. And there were a lot of closeted people in school, mainly gay men, come out as gay men, the gay boys. And you just never thought about that stuff. Like some you kind of knew, but they weren't out. And it wouldn't really change how you spoke about that stuff either. It's actually pretty crazy. Like education on those things, I hope it's way better now. But like when I was 18, so 2013, 14 is my last academic year in high school. And I was just thinking like, just didn't know about any of that stuff at all. So yeah, hopefully, WM saying I'm 17 and people still say it a lot. That's sad to hear, but hopefully less people. Is the stream okay now? Because it says on my live stream thing it's been good. So I'm gonna just get my OBS up again. I'll keep my streams up. Futurama is good stuff. Yeah, Futurama is good. Yeah, I haven't seen that episode, the transphobic one, Sushi. I probably should watch that. Have they removed it or something? Kate's saying early Simpsons is pretty cool, politically. But every so often there's a transphobic joke. Yeah, and there was a lot of weird stuff in the Simpsons as well. Hot Fuzz is good, but ACAB. Yeah, Hot Fuzz is pretty funny. I hate when I'm forced to watch comedy. I never watch comedy on my own. Like, I never watch it because not because I'm like an intellectual, but when I watch TV shows, because I don't have much time to like do extra stuff other than YouTube. I know you guys might think that sounds weird. It's because I am like on a day like today, I'd get up, I'd probably like write some of my videos for the week, like just some notes or research, and then I might write something. I've been trying to write stuff more lately. And then I work out for like 2.5 hours and then I'd come and stream. And then I'm just like, what do I do the rest of my night? So like, I prefer playing video games. And I always play video games. But at the same time, like in terms of TV, I want to watch something serious. So I started up Fargo recently again, season 4, watching Vikings and stuff. So I feel like, I don't really want to waste my time sometimes with comedy because it feels like less, I don't know, dramatic or something. I don't know. Is the stream okay? It won't even load for me. Alright, in the chat, put W if the stream is okay. And put F if it's either not loading or you're just not... can't even see stuff. Maybe you can't actually hear me. So W in the chat if the stream's fine. Okay. Alright, so you guys are making me feel crazy. Like, I'm just talking, and then I'm seeing people in the chat being like, yeah, it's crap, like, I can't hear you and stuff. It's a little laggy. Yeah, sorry, I can't really do anything. It says, I'm looking at my thing right now, and it's saying excellent connection. Maybe stream it in I don't know if you can do this to streams. Maybe stream it in lower quality. Local ads. There shouldn't be ads on the actual stream. Let me see if I can change it. There shouldn't be. Yeah, sorry, there shouldn't actually be ads in the stream. I think that actually no, I think there is ads. I'm going to turn them off quick. All right, sorry about that. I think it was left on for my videos. You guys shouldn't be getting ads anymore. I'm hoping. That's so dumb. Why is there even like ads in a stream? Like it's a live stream. Why are you getting like bombarded with ads? I don't even know why that's a feature in YouTube. Yeah, sorry about that. Because I have a set, because I monetize my videos. Basically like it just has like my description is always the same. So if you look at my description on the thing, it's got all my patrons and all my links, but basically it has like a standard setting it will go to, so that's why it's monetized. So sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't know if that's been a problem before. Apologize. F. Okay, well, most of you saying W. I think Spooky Kitty, your internet might be bad. Brian saying it's coming from the UN and whatever. I guess in the international trade agreements, they'll have to promote women and minorities. I mean, yeah, I guess in terms of like, there's been a massive like governmental push in many countries to be more inclusive and stuff, to kind of like make the populations more representative, or like, you know, makeups of the UN and stuff. Like in the BBC, for example, if you have a disability, and I think if you're LGBT as well, they will automatically give you an interview. Maybe if you're disabled, I'm not sure, because they have like a policy to be like, we need, you know, to help more disabled people get into these roles at this place and stuff. Am I just streaming in like ultra high def or something? Try hitting refresh if I'm laggy. Oh, okay. So it's like the video is restarting. Well, if it's pissing you off, just leave, and if you want to watch it, I'm gonna upload it on my second channel later. So yeah. Blake saying I had to delete like half my old tweets because the things have changed so much in the last 5 to 10 years, and the stuff we used to say was very problematic. Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day when that socialism done left got like outed as like a massive edgelord racist, and I was like, what is the worst thing I have said on social media? Like, what is the genuine worst thing? Obviously, I've never wrote anything like he did, but like, I get you. Like, I bet if I go on my Facebook, which is obviously like the social media which I've had since I was like 12 or something, I bet there's some proper problematic stuff there when I was like a kid or something. I think as an adult, the worst thing I probably used to say was be more anti-Islam than like anti-other religions, because I was a bit of a knucklehead when I was about 18, like maybe into the atheist stuff a bit too much. I was never like I made that video about I was never like totally sold on them, but I do think they did influence me with the anti-Islam stuff. And combined with that, I was actually going to talk about the Israel thing, in that I remember I wrote an article when I was 18 at university about Hamas being a problem to like the peace process. And I remember the article got taken down because Palestinian students got really mad at me, because basically I'd been doing a unit on Islamicism, and we were reading the Hamas manifesto, which is like super awful. And then I wrote an article talking about the manifesto, and as like an idiot, you know, an 18-year-old, I thought I knew it all about the Middle Eastern politics. So I wrote that article being like, basically there'll never be peace between Israel and Palestine as long as Hamas exists and stuff. Basically making it seem like Hamas have come out of nowhere and they think these awful things and they're just uncompromising. And it was based on like their manifesto. And some of you might even think like it's not the worst thing, but now like I do really regret that. And I'm big enough to admit I was wrong. So I don't think I'd be cancelled about it because I'm pretty open. Like I wrote that, my views have changed. And the thing is, like, a lot of my problematic background is that when I think about it, is like, I can at least see how I came to those conclusions, even based on the way I think now. Like, I can see, like, I wasn't wrong to say Hamas are bad. Like, that wasn't why that article was problematic, and that's not why. At the time, I thought Palestinians were being like super annoying, like why can't they take criticism of this group and stuff. And I think that's what maybe a lot, like, maybe I was brainwashed by like Western chauvinism, like post war on terror stuff, and maybe I just thought like crazy Islamic fundamentalists, that must be the problem there, like not what Israel are doing to these people and why this group exists in the first place. So like I think that's how I was influenced too much by like atheists, in that like Sam Harris, and I criticized him, is I didn't have enough context for this stuff, because on paper it's easy to say Hamas are bad because they're bad. What they believe in is bad. It's like extremely racist and stuff. It's awful, right? But that's without context, and that's like how new atheists often discuss things without context. But if you take the larger context of what their reaction to, the origins of them, how Israel helped with their initial funding because they wanted to divide the Palestinians up, how the main movement before Hamas of Palestinian like resistance was like the PLO, who are more secular and stuff. I didn't really know that stuff well enough. So yeah, I'd say for me, if I'm going to talk about like what I can be cancelled for, not that I would, because I know people wouldn't cancel me for that. It's shit like that. When I was about 18, 19, I think my politics were just weird. And I spoke about how like I voted Conservative the first time I voted, and like my evolution, and how I was just weird. Like I voted for the Conservative Party in the UK while supporting Bernie Sanders in 2015. Do you know what I mean? And like absolutely hating Donald Trump. It's just like I was confused, basically. I was confused. That Linkin Park song. But yeah, that's like the main thing with me. But in terms of like, what that socialism done left wrote like fucking a year ago, it's just the most gross shit. So like, and also that guy, if you want a good example how cancel culture don't even exist, right? Imagine if like Vosh, or let's say, I don't know, some other people who are popular were outed as saying that crap. I don't think anyone would forgive them. But this socialism done left essentially came back because he has a lot of friends. So even someone like that who's on the left, where we're meant to hold people to higher standards, has like a really gross history of just writing the most awful crap, and then he's like been allowed to like come back like straight away. So okay, I'm gonna read some more comments. Okay, gonna read some more stuff. My views when I was 18 were way worse. I was a Jordan Peterson fan. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, at least you're not now. You should probably delete anything you tweet today, because who knows if it'll be considered acceptable in another 5 to 10 years. Well, the thing is, I have looked back at my tweets on my personal account from like 2015, 14. And while I wouldn't agree with everything, I was like, I'm not like so different. I can see how I am now compared to then. Blake, thanks so much for the donation. Really appreciate it. $5, thanks so much. I appreciate that you often make content outside the typical news cycle. Keep up the good work. No, thanks a lot. I appreciate like people often say that in terms of like my content is kind of more international focused, which yeah, I'm glad you enjoy that. I'm glad anyone who likes what I put out. People leaving because it's laggy. That's fair enough. It's fucked up for everything. Okay, apparently YouTube Studio was really bad today as well. No, Marksman. I'm not doing a Newcastle accent. I wish though. Also, his dad did the. No, it wasn't Red Leader. I think it was his granddad. Yeah, it's so like, it's crazy. It's literally like when we say like people are like psyops and stuff. It's like, all right, the guy who is acting like the arbiter of socialism. When a liberal says that all socialists are Nazis because they say eat the rich, and then he defends them, and then it turns out his granddad did the Bay of Pigs. Just absolutely mad. SDL was actually bad, yeah. Did I see Vosh's charity stream? Yeah, that's awesome. The streams people doing are so good. It's just crazy how much they raise, really. As someone who had COVID, I don't know if I ever had it. It sucks, and people should try to avoid getting it. Yeah, Kennedy, we're meant to like have no restrictions by next month. The government have said, and I saw Texas like these mandates against wearing masks. Oh my god, it's just absolutely insane. Like the world's gone insane. Cenk was a Republican. Yeah, he was a Republican for ages, and he's also like a massive pro-capitalist for ages as well. So sorry, Cav. Okay, that's why people is leaving. I was like, why is everyone leaving? Wait, everyone left. Everyone left. Is it really bad still? Katie's saying, I've got to get some sleep now, but thanks for the work you do. Thanks so much, Katie. Like, Katie's my sugar daddy. Now, Katie, I really appreciate you donating so much. I'm starting to feel quite bad. And you're a patron as well. Oh, shit. Also, thanks so much for I think you upped your patronage as well, I believe. So thanks so much. But yeah, I'm feeling bad now. Yeah, I'm gonna see there's something wrong. I'm typing YouTube onto Twitter. YouTube down. Okay, the YouTube's just not working. I picked the worst day to do it, and that's why I've lost like 100 viewers in like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna go then. Hopefully, basically, what will happen is this stream will still be like fine. Like the video file will be fine. So give me like an hour, and if you want to watch this where I talk about this stuff, I'm gonna post it on my second channel, the Cavanacle Extra. Sad this happened today when I wanted to do this stuff, and apparently it's down right now. It just crashed again, so it just crashed again, but thanks so much, guys. For all the donations, I super appreciate it. Who was it again? Katie, of course, Brian, and sorry, wait, Blake. Thank you so much, guys. The new video tomorrow. Again, if you want to watch this stuff, go check it out on the second channel.